What if I told you that a broke, desperate poet wrote 3 words in 1903 that would later inspire Marilyn Monroe, Lady Gaga, and Dustin Hoffman, and could completely transform how you handle every major decision in your life? Those 3 words were, live the questions. Picture this. Paris, 1903. Rainer Maria Rilke is 27 years old, completely broke, and convinced he's out of ideas. This guy has written over a dozen books, but he's got nothing to show for it except empty pockets and crushing self-doubt. Then he gets a letter from Franz Capus, a 19-year-old military cadet who is basically having an existential crisis. Franz is asking all the big questions. Should I be a poet? Is love a sin? What do I do with all this uncertainty eating me alive? And here's where most people would give advice, right? Tell the kid what to do. Give him answers. But Rilke did something completely different. Something so radical that it's still changing lives 120 years later. Instead of giving answers, Rilke wrote back with this. Try to love the questions themselves, like locked rooms, like books written in a truly foreign language. Don't you look for the answers now. They cannot be given to you yet because you cannot yet live them. For now, live the questions. Live the questions. Think about that for a second. We are programmed to frantically search for answers, right? We Google everything. We want instant solutions. We panic when we don't know what's next. But Rilke is saying, what if the question is the answer? Should I quit my job? Is this relationship right for me? What's my purpose in life? Am I making the right choices? We torture ourselves trying to solve these immediately. But what if we're supposed to live inside them instead? Here's why this works, and why it's so hard. Our brains are literally addicted to quick answers. We've trained ourselves to expect instant gratification. Uncertainty feels like torture because we think we need to know right now. But the biggest, most important questions in life, they're not meant to be answered quickly. They're meant to be lived through, experienced, explored. When you live the questions, you're not avoiding decisions, you're gathering real-life data. You're letting the answer emerge naturally instead of forcing it. The author Elizabeth Weingarten breaks down questions like parts of a tree. Peaches' quick ripening questions. Like, will I get the job? These get answered relatively fast. Pawpaw's slow ripening questions, like, should I stay in this relationship? These take years to fully resolve. Heartwood lifelong questions, like, who am I? Or, what's my purpose? These never get fully answered. They're your lifelong companions. Dead leaves toxic questions, like, why didn't I take the job 5 years ago? These need to be released because they're not helping you grow. So how do you actually do this? Step 1. Identify your current big question. What's keeping you up at night? What decision are you frantically trying to make? Step 2. Ask yourself, what type of question is this? Peach, pawpaw, heartwood, dead leaf. Step 3. If it's a pawpaw or heartwood question, stop trying to answer it. Instead ask, what can I learn by living inside this question for a while? Step 4. Take small experiments. Instead of making the big decision, make small moves that give you more information. Date the person casually before deciding on marriage. Try the side hustle before quitting your job. Step 5. Journal the journey. Write about what you're discovering as you live inside the question. What's emerging? Here's what happens when you start living the questions instead of frantically seeking answers. You stop making desperate decisions from a place of panic. You gather real data about what you actually want. You become comfortable with uncertainty, which is a superpower. You make better decisions because they come from lived experience, not fear. I tried this with my own career transition. Instead of agonizing over, should I quit my corporate job to create content? I started creating content on the side. I lived inside that question for months. The answer eventually became obvious, not from thinking, but from living. So here is your challenge. What is one big question you've been trying to force an answer to? Try this for the next 30 days. Instead of seeking the answer, live inside the question. Take small experiments. Pay attention to what you discover. Drop your question in the comments. Let us normalize having big questions we don't need to solve immediately. And if this changed how you think about decisions, hit that subscribe button because we're going deep on life-changing ideas every single week. Remember, you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to live the questions.